Hello, Final Fantasy Randomizer. My name is Headbanks, and I'm joined by Sir Link-a-Lot. Link, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm excited. We are here to make our official announcement. This is something that we've been workshopping for, like 2 months now? Ish?
Oh, if we want to go just that, I know it's something that's been talked about in the Discord for well over a year. Is just we're getting all these new people in. We should probably do a new player thing at some point. It's like, yeah, let's work on that, and then it just gets put aside. And finally, it was just like, all right, we're doing it, and we started actually seriously talking about it, workshopping things, and yeah, we were trying to find a good time to do it, and we're here.
We have found the time. So no fancy name or title yet. Right now, it's just the Final Fantasy Mystic Quest Randomizer new player program. I'm sure someone will come up with something clever down the line to call it
we've got Shrug to Speed.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Shrug to Speed is the program that you came up with. That's such a cool name. I missed over that.
Yeah, we went, Benjamin shrugs, and that's what, new players I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just shrugging. We're going to teach you how to stop shrugging and go zooming. So,
yeah. So let's go ahead and let the folks know what exactly the program is going to be doing. Like, what is Shrug to Speed? Generally, the idea is to help new players or players who have not engaged in the speed running or racing aspect of the randomizer learn how to race. Basically, learn the basics, learn how to peek, learn how to route, learn how to, see what items you're getting and what equipment you have and make those judgment calls to, just overall improve their gameplay of the randomizer. And if you wanted to elaborate on that a little bit more, Link, I know there's some techniques that you probably want to start teaching for this program.
Yeah, I mean, as far as we're going to start really basic. The first thing of a couple new players, this was after the Final Fantasy 1 Mystic Quest Archipelago tournament is, we got a couple new people in there. Just they weren't sure where it's incentivized in Final Fantasy 1, but it would be priority boxes. Essentially where the main items, where are they in the game? And I don't know where they all are, and sometimes they'd miss Gomon because I didn't know where that one was. So the first week, that's really what we're focusing on is those priority boxes. We're going to go over where every single one of those boxes are. We're going to do a seed with the settings. We're going to go through it. I don't want to say slow. We're still going to be going not as fast as we normally would be. We're going to be taking our time explaining it, but we are going to go get every box, even if it's not needed. And then we'll actually do another run where we do it as not a full speed run, but a more normal one. Hey, I hit go mode. I don't have to check anything else now.
Yeah, and it really addresses a lot of the players that we've gotten who were like, I've never played the vanilla game before. And it's like, all right, sweet. I mean, general rule of thumb is when you pick up a randomizer, you play the vanilla game to understand where the checks are and how the game generally works. But some folks just like the game and they were like, let's go straight into the randomizer. And, to that I say kudos. I've seen a lot of really, really good runners who's like, I've never touched vanilla Mystic Quest. It's like, you're doing great for never have played the OG game, but I'm sure there's something that some folks are like, where do I start? What do I do? How do I get this? How do I get this box? I mean, Life Temple comes to mind. How do I get to that box that's sitting there in the corner after I warp in? We'll teach you how to get through the little waterway that's hidden away there in, Cage Temple, all the good stuff. But yeah, no, this is looking to be, a 4-week program we're thinking?
Yep, 4 weeks is what we looked at.
Yep. So each week we're going to go through a series of escalating flag sets. We'll spend the week, with new players and what we're calling our mentors. We're calling them companions because let's be real, in Mystic Quest, your companions are the big carries of the game, not Ben. So we have our shrugs or shruggers. We'll probably put up a poll to decide the last name on that. And then our mentors will be called our companions, and our shrugs will team up with a companion, learn the flag set, kind of go through that week's flags, learn that, and then we'll have a race time, GG race at the end of each week, just so folks can, have a friendly competition about it. It's not going to be a big tournament. It's not going to be, something done for points. It's more so like people can get a vibe check of what a race scene feels like. How did I do to everybody else compared to these flags? And then you share and take notes. And that's one of my big favorite things about doing casual races is talking about the shared suffering or the shared experience of the flags. Being like, man, what'd you do here? I did this. I went here. Oh, I decided to go here because I had XYZ. And I feel like that's a really good way to grow your racing experience.
Yeah, adapting on the fly. That's the one thing with like Mystic Quest compared to a lot of the other like RPG randomizers is it is a very fast paced and things change quickly based on, hey, I found Dragon Claw. Oh, well that just opened up half the world. Where do you go now? So you kind of, that choice paralysis, like, I have so many places to go. Where's the best place to potentially go now?
Yeah, getting a little too real, but yeah, no, the decision paralysis is a real thing, and a lot of people suffer from it, and we're here to help you hopefully get through it with this program. So speaking of helping you get through it, we're looking at the dates of starting November 2nd and ending on November 29th. So there is a bit of an overlap with Thanksgiving. If anybody celebrates American Thanksgiving, I think even Canadian Thanksgiving will have a bit of a bump into that as well. That's November, right?
I'm not sure when Canadian Thanksgiving is off the top of my head.
Canadian friendos in the chat, let me know when Canadian Thanksgiving is, because I can't remember, even though I've been told like 6 times when it is. But if we're running into that, sorry, October? Okay, so we already got it. Oh, it is Monday. Sweet.
2 days. Okay. So, yeah, we're not going over that then.
Sweet. So yeah, American Thanksgiving's what we're going to run over. We'll do our best to plan around that for folks who might have other obligations. But typically the race time races are going to be on the Saturday of that week. That way everybody has the weekend, hopefully. And you can kind of set it on your schedule with your work plans and accommodate accordingly. And at the end of the wrap up, all of our new players will graduate to hopefully be companions themselves, and we'll just kind of be doing this every year, maybe expanded into a tournament depending on how turnout goes this year. We'll see.
Yeah. Sounds like good, because I know that's one thing, like, we don't have a lot of tournaments in the Mystic Quest randomizer. Like, we get Speed Gaming Live, and that's really kind of the big one, and that's all that happened. So there's not a lot. So that maybe, we get more players, it's a lot easier to, potentially get a tournament going to where we're not just waiting for, Speed Gaming Live, which just finished up, where we can just have like a fun tournament where there's a big difference too when you have a tournament when money's on the line. Is like you take it a lot more seriously than the casual tournament where there's nothing really at stake. You're just having fun racing with everybody. So it's a lot different of a mindset.
Yeah, and speaking of speed gaming, someone might be raising their eyebrows like, doesn't this happen exactly after Speed Gaming Live on site? You'd be correct. We did that on purpose. Both Linkalot and I will be at Speed Gaming Live in person at the live event. And we were like, when's a good time for you to help run this event? And we were both like, after we get back from travel. Yep. So that's exactly why it is when it is. And I guess to speak to what we're going to be learning and how we're going to be escalating steadily, did you want to talk about the flags a bit? And I know you crafted like 3 out of the 4 flag sets that we have for the program.
Yeah, like kind of went over the first one. The first one is a very generic. It's more akin to kind of what the randomizer was before we got all of the settings. It was, you could really just shuffle boxes around and your enemies. That's pretty much in stats. Like that was it. You didn't have all the crazy like dungeon shuffle, overworld shuffle, randomizer, any of that stuff. So first one we kind of went over. It's just normal red box shuffle. So all the red boxes are where they typically are in the vanilla game, but their contents are shuffle. That's it. When we get to, let me pull them all up. All right, so like week 2, we're going to, that's when we're going to start shuffling the brown boxes around, and the red boxes. So that's where we're going to start looking into like, peeking, knowing where every box in the entire game actually is, so you don't miss that one box and you're like, oh, well, that's where that item was and I needed that. To kind of go in with that and add into it, we're also doing Shattered Sky Coin with that one too, to where it is the idea that you do need to be looking at all the boxes. You're going to see more red boxes than normal because we're looking for the Sky Coin, which whether or not you've played, if you've been watching Speed Gaming Live, you're familiar with because you were looking for those Sky Coin shards during Speed Gaming Live. And then week 3, that's when we're going to start to scale things even further. We're going to kind of keep the idea of it's a bunch of shuffle with all the boxes, but that's when we start adding things like Randomizer, the overworld shuffle. That's when we start to kind of really get into all of the settings the randomizer has to offer at this point.
Yep. And then to finish it off with week 4, I had some time to sit down and lab out. And it's like, what would an expert flag set look like? Like, what would you be comfortable running after we've taught you all the tips and tricks that you needed to know, and potentially have something like SGL come up? And it's like, it's going to be tough, but fair, hopefully. So the week 4 flag set is an expert logic flag set with chest and NPC set to include and battlefield set to prioritize. The big gimmick of this one is start with Skycoin. So this is your confidence check. This is to cap off. You are starting with go mode. Doom Castle shortcut is turned on. You start with Skycoin. It is go find everything you need. Everything you think you need to defeat the boss, and then go as fast as you can. Like, ideally, these will be like low 30, like low 40, in between that butter zone flag sets, unless something bad happens, and then it might be in the 50s. But ideally, these are going to be like your speed flags.
Yep. The one thing to know with that speed flags is and we wanted to make sure it wasn't completely random, is like Doom Castle, we did not do Randomizer for this. So like Dark King is going to have Dark King abilities. So you'll know what you need to prepare for. So that's when you know, like, what is your confidence level of, I have these items and these levels, I feel confident enough to make the dive into Doom Castle.
Yep. So the final 4 will have their flags. I mean, their normal attacks. So Wyvern will do Wyvern things. Will do Zilla things. Dark King will definitely hit you with webs. Is your body ready? Do you have the right companion flag set for that? Do you have all the equipment you need to get through that comfortably? And I think our windows for the scaling too are a little harsher. So enemies are fine, like it's 50 to 100, but we did put bosses from 75 to 125. So you have that 50-50 of, you could gamble on it being a little lower than vanilla, but you also could get hit hard with 25% harder than vanilla settings. So with vanilla DK especially, that's going to be something I hope we can get everybody prepped for. And during this entire program, like, our companions are going to be available for you. Our mentor companions are going to be available for you to like pick their brain, maybe do like Sherpa runs where you basically run the same seed in tandem if you have time available, and basically, guide you through what they would do, and then you could basically copy them or maybe pick their brain about why not do this, why not do that, and they'll give their opinions back and forth. I do want to say that this program is not just going to be me and you. I am 100% open to opening this up to any of our veteran runners who want to sign up as a companion. I'm working on a sign-up sheet right now. So here in a week or so, we'll have a sign-up form available. You can sign up as a new player, or you can sign up as a companion, and then we'll get all the logistics kind of worked out and hopefully get folks paired up with folks in their time zones. So that way it'll be a little easier to coordinate. And we'll kind of elaborate as we go on there. I am hoping to stand up a dedicated room for this in the MQ Rando channel. I have not had time yet, unfortunately. It's been a crazy week. Yep. But we will go ahead and stand up its own room so that way the discussion doesn't bleed over into the general chat. Folks who are participating in the program will be able to talk to each other or to the mentors pretty easily, looking at roles in the whole shebang. So that's the general outline of everything. Did I miss anything?
No, I think that we covered it pretty well. We don't want to give the main thing we want to do is we don't want to give the flag sets. If everyone's wondering, what are the actual flag sets? We don't want to give those out because we want it to be, we're going through it with you. Like, the idea is we're going to open it up. Plan is to kind of like, if you've been around Final Fantasy 1, they have the Duckling stream. So like, they'll actually go through it. They'll do a stream. That's our plan too, is we're going to actually have a stream. We're going to actually go through a seed live. Because we're not going to take it at the pace we would normally take it at. We're going to take it slower, explain what we're doing, why we're doing it, the mindset as we're like, hey, I got this item, this opened up, this is what I'm thinking about now, and this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, so. And that way everybody's on the same page, everybody's at the same pace, no one's trying to like, get ahead of each other. And again, there's no tournament involved in this, so this is mostly just for self-improvement and just having fun. I feel like the big thing that has been a little slow lately is just casual races between community members, and I'm sure some folks do that on their downtime, but I'm hoping this helps stir up like a casual running community with that ping meter race role. It's like, hey, you want to race real quick in the voice channel? Yeah, by all means. So
Yep.
I'm hoping to stir that up and, you know, catch everybody coming off fresh from that SGL finale. God, I went back and watched that, man. That was such a close race.
Yep, it was. It was. I don't think you could ask for a much better race than that one.
Yeah, and it's, you know, every time we do these events like SGL, or someone gets in the limit break, or someone gets in the FFR, inevitably we get new members, and I'm ecstatic to see the community grow. But I think we're at the point now where this program's necessary. We need to help facilitate those new players and get them up to speed with everybody else, so they don't feel embarrassed or, you know, shy about, oh, what do I do this? And you get those folks where it's like, I don't want to make myself look like a fool. First of all, there's no silly questions. We probably answered it before, but I'm happy to answer it again because I love helping teach the new players. But, you know, this is to help kind of build that confidence. So maybe next SGL, we have even more participants because I love seeing the tournament grow. And I like seeing everybody go off to marathon events and, you know, rep the community that way.
Yeah, the idea is like, you know, to get you prepped for racing. You don't, even if you go through the program, you don't necessarily have to do competitive racing if you aren't comfortable with it. But the idea is to where you have that comfort level if you want to do it. Because that's typically the first hardest step. Is like, you know, you see the races, you see the top runners, like, I can't do that. Well, yeah, you can't. That's the whole point. The top tier runners, they weren't doing that when they started either. They had to start somewhere, and we want to have an actual like place for everybody to have that place to start and feel comfortable and confident that, oh, this is how I start, and get right into it at that point.
Yeah, for sure. That way you're not just coming in, it's like, I guess I'm going to run a couple by myself and I'm getting stuck and frustrated and I'm just going to put the randomizer down now. It's like, we don't want that to happen. We want you to be able to, you know, talk, learn, hopefully foster that excitement. So I'm definitely looking forward to this. Look forward to more developments in the FFMQ Rando Discord as we get closer to that time frame. Again, the dates for this event are going to be from November 2nd to November 29th. Keep an eye out on the FFMQ Rando Discord. If you're not a part of the Discord and you want to be part of the program, go ahead and check out ffmqrando.net. On the left-hand side of the window, there is a little opening menu where you can find a link to our community Discord there. Feel free to pop on in, say hi. I think every time someone joins the Discord, at least 6 people say hi. So someone's always on.
Or more. Well, yeah. And if they don't get you right when you join, it's like, it will come. Don't worry.
When they wake up in the morning, when those old guys wake up and get ready to go to work, it's like, oh, hey, so-and-so joined. It's been 4 hours. I'll still wave.
Yeah.
So, all right, folks. Well, I think we're going to keep this short and sweet now. Thanks, everybody, for joining and listening to us yap a little bit about this program. Like I said, I'm super excited for this, man.
Yep.
So with that, we're going to go ahead and give FFR back their channel. Thank you so much to Dark Moon for restreaming us and letting us borrow the channel for this announcement. If you're catching the VOD again, the event is between November 2nd and November 29th. If you're catching it between this time, please feel free, pop in, sign up. It'll be a blast. And even if you come in afterwards, hey, there's always next year, and you can pick our brain throughout the entire year. But until then, we'll see you next time. Take care.